Week 4 Data Visualization in Python. In this lesson, you will learn how to visualize data using histograms, scatterplots, and heat maps. We will use the groceries dataset to explore these plots. Visualizations help you see patterns and trends that are hard to spot in raw data. Let us begin our journey to make data come alive. Running the cell now. Are you ready to start exploring data visually? Let us prepare our data. We hide warnings to keep our output clean. Here we set up our groceries data. We import pandas for handling tables. We import KaggleHub and OS to download the groceries dataset. Import NumPy as NP. We set the random seed to 42 for reproducibility. The groceries dataset is downloaded using KaggleHub. We list the download folder to find our data file. We select the CSV file from the downloaded files. We load the CSV into a pandas data frame. We print out the number of rows and columns. This shows our data size. We preview the first 3 rows of our groceries dataset. This helps us see example values. Running the cell now. This output shows the dataset contains 38,765 rows and 3 columns, member_number, date, and item description. Notice that each row represents a single grocery transaction with customer ID, purchase date, and item bought. Understanding the dataset's shape and key columns sets the stage for creating meaningful visualizations like histograms and scatterplots in this lesson. Can you spot which columns show customers and their items? Why data visualization matters. Visualizations communicate information clearly. They help you identify patterns, spot outliers, and form new questions. Think of visualizations like the map for your data journey. Running the cell now. Try naming times you have seen charts or graphs helping explain something. Let us get a summary of our groceries data. Let us see what columns and types we have in our dataset. We get info that tells us about columns, types, and any missing data. Running the cell now. This output shows the basic structure of our dataset, revealing it contains 38,765 rows and 3 key columns, member_number, date, and item description. Noticing that all columns have no missing values is important, as it means our data is complete and ready for visualization to uncover patterns and insights. This step sets the foundation for effective data exploration, ensuring we understand what we're working with before creating visual maps of the data. Why is it useful to know your column types before plotting? Now we make sure our data is clean before we visualize it. We check for any missing data. We count missing values in each column. We print how many missing values there are. Running the cell now. Here, the code checks the dataset for any missing values across key columns like member_number, date, and item description. Noticing all zeros reassures us that the data is complete, which means our visualizations will accurately reflect the full story without gaps or bias. This step is crucial before creating clear, trustworthy visual maps of our data. Clean data leads to better and more reliable plots. Let us see which grocery items are bought most often. We look at which items appear most frequently. We count each unique item and sort to find the most popular. We print the top 10 grocery items bought in the dataset. Running the cell now. This output shows the top 10 most frequently purchased items, highlighting whole milk as the clear leader with 2,502 purchases. Notice how the descending counts help you quickly grasp which products dominate sales, illustrating how visualization, or even this simple ranked list, can effectively summarize and communicate key insights from your data. This aligns with our lesson on using visuals to identify important patterns and guide your data exploration. Would you expect these items to be most popular? Why or why not? Let us make our first plot, a histogram for the most popular groceries. We use matplotlib to make a bar chart. We import the matplotlib.pyplot module as PLT. We set the figure size to make the plot wider for better visibility. We plot the top items as a bar chart with sky blue bars. We label the y-axis to show the frequency of items. We add a title describing the chart's content. We display the plot so it appears on the screen. Running the cell now. This bar chart highlights the top 10 most purchased grocery items, with frequencies shown on the y-axis. Notice how the tallest bars quickly reveal the most popular products, making it easy to spot customer favorites at a glance. This visualization effectively communicates key insights, emphasizing why visual tools are essential for understanding and exploring your data. What does this histogram help you learn about customer buying habits? Understanding histograms. Histograms show how values are distributed. Bar charts work for categories, like item names. For numbers, histograms reveal the spread and shape. Next, let us make a histogram from a numeric column. Running the cell now. Can you think of numeric information we could show as a histogram? Let us find out how many items customers buy in one trip. Here we count items for each member on each shopping date. We group by customer and the date, then count what they buy. We plot a histogram to show how shopping trips vary in item count. We label the x-axis to show the number of items in one trip. We label the y-axis to tell how many transactions there were. We add a title so readers understand the focus. We show what this distribution looks like visually. Running the cell now. This histogram shows how many items customers typically buy in a single shopping trip, highlighting the frequency of different purchase sizes. Notice the shape, whether most trips involve few items or if there's a wide spread, helping us understand typical buying behavior. This connects directly to the lesson by using a histogram to reveal the distribution of numerical data, not just categorical counts. Do most people buy only a few items or a lot? What story does the chart show? Intro to Scatterplots. Scatterplots show the relationship between two variables. Each point is a pair of values for one example. Let us look for patterns in a scatter plot. Running the cell now. Would you like to see if shopping behavior changes over time? Let us see the shopping pattern of one customer over time. We pick one random customer from the data. We filter to get just that customer's purchases. We group their data by date and count items each trip. We create a scatterplot of how many items this person bought for each trip. Every point shows a shopping trip and items bought. We label our x-axis with dates. We label the y-axis with the number of items bought in a trip. We add a title to show who this chart is about. The date labels are rotated for easier reading. We display this customer's shopping timeline visually. Running the cell now. This scatterplot displays the number of items bought per trip over time for a single customer, with each point representing a shopping trip on a specific date. Notice how the points vary in height, indicating changes in the number of items purchased across different visits. This visualization helps us understand the customer's purchasing patterns and trends over time by showing the relationship between trip dates and items bought. Look for patterns or outliers in the customer's visits. Do you see busy or quiet periods? Let us prepare the data to make a heat map to see trends in popular items over days. Pre-process the data to prepare for creating a heat map that shows the relationship between days and items. Group the data by a date and tighten description, counting the number of occurrences for each combination, then reshape the data so each item is a column with counts per day. Calculate the total counts for each item across all days and select the top 8 most frequent items. Filter the dataset to keep only the columns corresponding to the top 8 items for simplicity in the heat map. Transpose the resulting table so items become the rows and dates become the columns for easier visualization in the heat map. Running the cell now. This code prepares the data to visualize how frequently the top 8 items appear across different dates, arranging the counts in a matrix format. Notice how it groups by date and item, pivots the data so each row represents an item, and columns represent days, making it easier to spot patterns in item sales over time. Although this isn't a scatterplot, understanding this structured data is key before plotting relationships between variables in the next steps. Which items do you expect to be high on most days? Now let us build the heat map. We import Seaborn, a popular plotting library for pretty charts. We set the size for our heat map, so details are clear. We draw a heat map showing purchase counts for each item across dates. A color bar shows how counts match to colors. We label the y-axis as item. We label the x-axis as date. The title explains which items and dates the heat map covers. We display the heat map and look for patterns in popular items. Running the cell now. This heat map visualizes the count of item purchases across different days, with color intensity indicating higher or lower purchase volumes. Notice the clear patterns in purchase frequency over time for each item, which contrasts with scatterplots that show individual data points. This code helps us understand how data aggregation can summarize relationships before we move on to exploring detailed pairwise relationships in scatterplots. Can you spot days when certain items were much more popular? What might cause peaks? When to use each visualization. Use histograms or bar charts for frequency distributions. Choose scatterplots for comparing two pairs of values. Pick a heat map to spot clusters, patterns, or gaps in data across two categories like time and item. Try to choose the plot that matches the question you want to answer. Running the cell now. If you have a different question, what plot would you pick? Now it is your turn. Let us try making a histogram with a column you choose. You will type a column to plot the top counts. We count how often each value appears in your chosen column. We plot the top 10 values as bars to see which are most common. We show the result with a fun color. The title will change to match your column. We show the chart. This is your experiment. Running the cell now. This bar chart shows the top 10 most frequent values in the chosen column, either a member_number or item description. Notice the height of each bar reflects how often each value appears, helping you quickly identify the most common members or items. This visualization reinforces when to use bar charts to understand and compare frequency distributions within a single variable. Try running this with both options and compare what the plots reveal. If you enjoy these tips, please subscribe for more practice. Best practices. Label your axes and titles clearly. Do not overload plots with too much data at once. Pick color palettes that are easy to see. Simple, clear plots are more powerful. Running the cell now. Remember, charts are for people. Clarity helps everyone. Try this challenge. What happens if you plot days against members? Here is a heat map to explore. We explain the goal, to create a heat map showing shopping activity by date and member. We create a pivot table with dates as rows, members as columns, and counts of items bought as values. We select the first 15 members for clarity and to reduce plot clutter. We set the figure size for a clear and readable plot. We draw a heat map using the pivot data and a color map, adding a color bar with a label. We add a title to describe what the heat map shows. We label the y-axis as date so it's clear what the rows represent. We label the x-axis as member number so columns are identified. We show the heat map plot so the viewer can analyze shopping patterns. Running the cell now. This heat map clearly shows the count of items bought by the first 15 members across different dates, with darker colors indicating higher purchase counts. Notice how the axes are labeled and the color bar is titled, making it easy to interpret trends without cluttering the plot with all members. This aligns with best practices by focusing on a manageable subset and using a distinct color map for clarity. Which members shop the most often? Do you see any patterns or empty spaces? Recap: making sense of the data. Histograms and bar charts show what is common or rare. Scatterplots help reveal trends between two things. Heatmaps let you see many relationships at once. You are now ready to tell your own data stories with pictures. Running the cell now. What kind of data story do you want to tell next? Next steps. Practice by visualizing data from your own life or interests. Keep exploring. Try pie charts, box plots, or line graphs. If you enjoyed this lesson, like and subscribe for more beginner data lessons. Running the cell now. Come back next time for new skills and examples. See you in the next lesson.